Welcome back to the Lumbertron podcast. I am your host, Tyler Woods. It's time for some soul fam, y'all. Today we have the incredible Masha, a hypnotherapist, life coach, and healer. Masha uses her life experience to help others transform and transcend trauma to become the erotically divine beings they're all meant to be. And the two of us divine beings sat down at my kitchen table, recorded an hour and a half of podcast, and then talked for another hour. Well, turns out only 5 minutes got recorded. So she was cool enough to come back and do it all over again. And we knocked it out of the park. Enjoy my talk with this amazing human.
So it is.
And so it is. Welcome to the Lumbertron podcast.
Thank you.
Masha, round 2. Full transparency. This is our second attempt. Last time did not go quite perfectly. And yet, it's all going perfectly.
Yes.
So, welcome back, Masha.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, Masha, once again, simple question. Who are you? Today, in this moment, how are you showing up? Who are you, Masha?
Well, I'm a spiritual being having human experience. And I believe that my soul traveled throughout the universe and has been to this planet and other planets and other dimensions and realities. And right now I'm here experiencing myself as this girl who is from Russia in the United States and living my best life, just enjoying and growing, evolving every day.
I imagine that wasn't always the case. No. Well, how did you find yourself here in Washington, in the United States of all places, from Russia?
Yes. So my parents and we won the green card lottery. It's a lottery throughout the world that people can win permanent residence in the United States for free. And my dad applied.
Okay, so you applied.
He
looked
had
it
to,
out. It didn't wasn't just handed.
It was actually shared from someone who is from Canada. His old childhood friend just shared that there is a thing like that.
Yeah.
And we won that lottery. It took 2 years. And we weren't expecting that because we thought we only applied for 1 year, but we actually, that woman from Canada, she helped us and she applied us to an agency and she paid that agency for us, for that agency to keep applying us throughout 10 years. And we had no idea. So we didn't win the first time and we were very disappointed because it was my dad's dream to come to America. It was like, my kids are gonna be studying in United States. He was manifesting it throughout his life. He said the first time he saw some movie, he saw some movie and he was a little kid and he was like, I'm going to United States. And he's been having this dream.
Yeah.
And he told, he was a pastor, and he told people in our church that we are going to United States. He doesn't know how, but we are going. He knows it's happening. And I remember I was at his service on Sunday, and he shared in front of everyone that we are going. And I was like, wow, Dad, you are so confident. And we didn't.
Did you believe him?
Yeah, I definitely felt that I I wanted to go. I really wanted to go. I felt like I need to go. I had that strong intuitive feeling.
Yeah, something was
calling me.
Destined
for sure. That's why I'm here. I'm so happy now. I had to be here.
Yeah.
So the first year we didn't win, and we okay. We got really disappointed and we were like, shit, Like, that's not our destiny. And we had to get this letter in the mail. It's like yellow letter. If you won, you got the yellow letter. And I was in middle school, and my dad calls me, and he's like, Masha, something scary happened. And he's like building this, like, I'm like, what happened? He's like, we won the green card. I'm like, what? We are going to United States. Oh my God. I was so happy.
So how old were you at this point?
I was 12.
12.
I was in 7th grade, and I didn't speak English. And like, even though I was taking classes, I was not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And I didn't really prepare, and I was like, oh, whatever. Because, like, we didn't know if you would, you know?
Sure.
It's like, it's a miracle. It's a lottery. It's like winning a lottery. Like, imagine you won, like, $10 million. Like, it's fucking,
trip
you know.
to America.
Yeah.
Life in America.
It's like people fight to have passport here. Like, I have so many friends who are political asylums from Russia, and they are struggling, and we just won it. We just got it, and like, now we are citizens, and we haven't done anything for it in this life.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
So were you excited to leave your life in Russia? Were things good there? Were you?
Things were good. My mom had a business, like 3 fashion stores, and we had a church, and everything was like pretty amazing there. And my mom made like $10,000 a month, like in Russia, and like we are from a small town, like from 30,000 people. It's just like a tiny town. We were like rich, and like we were, you know, happy.
Wow.
So it was definitely, it's almost like, you know, everything is so well, and like there was no reason for us to move because we were like happy there.
Yeah.
And then we got the green card, and we are like, all right, we need to move in 6 months.
6 months. So you had 6 months, 12 years old, don't speak any English.
Yep.
Time to change everything.
Yep. And I felt good about it. My mom didn't want to go. Obviously, she had her business, and she's like, she's a successful businesswoman, pretty happy, and you know, all of our community and everything was there. So, but I was excited. My brother didn't want to go. I have a brother. He's 5 years younger than me. He was 8. So yeah, and then we moved here in 2010 to Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Just pick a city. Just pick a city on the map.
So yeah, it was another crazy story how we got specifically to Los Angeles, but basically we were gonna go to Philadelphia because we had a relative there. But we changed our mind. We were like, maybe we should just have one winter in the warm place. Like, we need one winter just to feel how it is. We've never felt that, like, you know, warm winter. And we were like, maybe LA. And then my parents meet a family that is going to LA too. Like, this woman, her husband was in LA. He was from LA, but he was at the time in Russia. And my parents just met her somewhere, like accidentally.
Accidentally, of course.
And she said, do you want to meet with my husband? He's right now in Russia, but he lives in LA. And my parents met with that guy. And before they met, my mom had a vision that they will meet this guy. So, like, it's all...
Naturally.
Yeah. It's all like all connected.
So you mentioned that your father was a pastor.
Yeah.
Was religion a big part of your life growing up?
Yes,
Yeah,
religion
these
was
little coincidences,
yes,
I say in air quotes. Definitely.
Yes, for sure. They were very spiritually like active, and we were spiritual Christians, believed in miracles, and like that God is alive and he loves us and he's here to help. And like they spoke to Jesus, and my dad, he's definitely a psychic, but he like, it's called like a gift of knowledge, like that he has knowledge. And we spoke in tongues, and my parents had visions, and like all of that was very present in my life. Also, there was another side of it, a lot of limiting beliefs about sexuality, about and like I'm bisexual, and I grew up thinking that I'm a bad person because I'm into women too. And so that was the thing. And then another limiting belief that I got from it, that God is like in control of your life, and you're not God. You're a sinner. But if you pray enough, if you love God enough, if you dedicate your life to God, then you can get all the gifts and get all the benefits of being.
So you had these like these two hands. That's a cat food thing. You're fine. Yeah. Automatic food here. The gifts bestow onto our cats. But yeah, holding the limiting beliefs. So it's like you think you're a bad person for having your sexuality, and you're not in control of your life.
Yes.
God's in control of your life.
Yes.
So. Yeah.
But on the other hand, we had miracles in our church. We had a woman who healed from cancer by just believing. And like we had many beautiful things that I'm so thankful that I grew up with this like understanding that God loves us, like that we are special, and that he creates miracles, and that so this understanding was within me. That's why I think spirituality, when I had my spiritual awakening, I just like, fuck yeah. Like, I know that already.
It's always been a thread of your being.
Yes.
So moving to Los Angeles, what kind of community did you have when you landed there? There was some synchronicities. You met some people.
Yeah. So that guy who met us in Russia, he said, come to LA. I will give you my room.
Okay.
A guy who like we did not know at all, just a random guy who my parents like met his wife somewhere, and like he's like, I'm gonna like come over. I'm gonna help you. And that was a sign that we should go to LA.
Yeah.
And we wanted to go, and then that happened, and we were like, all right, we need to go to LA.
The way.
Yeah. And we moved here, and he gave us his room for free for a month. So for a month we stayed in a room, I think for free, while he moved somewhere else, because he was living with roommates. So he just gave his room, paid for it, moved somewhere else. And that's it. That was like, he introduced us to a few people, and a few Christian people. And then we had this like little church. It was a North Hollywood Christian church. And then kind of started growing from there, kind of making new friends with Christians. And then my parents met this guy.
Oh boy.
He is a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
And now I know everything he says is true. Like, now I know that. But before...
He's on the fringe of mainstream, yeah.
He just blasted us with information about America, like, before we needed to know that. Like, he just told us so much that my parents totally lost hope that they can succeed here. And like I think that's the reason they're still struggling, my parents, to like assimilate here, because they're like in this mentality of, everything is trying to hurt us and kill us. And like, so when we moved here, life got really hard. Big city, no English, just difficult in every fucking single way. Like, you can't like imagine, like it was so just mind-blowingly difficult. And my parents didn't really plan. They don't really have a skill to plan, so they didn't really plan anything. We just went for it.
Take it, yeah.
We just went for it, like, hello, here we are, let's figure it out. That's that's the mentality. So there was no plan. And my mom's business provided for a couple years. And then my dad had to go work. And he went and he had to take difficult jobs. And he's still doing very physically hard jobs and provides for the family. But yeah, they're still struggling. Their beliefs about Christianity changed too. For their own reasons. My cousin died after we moved here, like in 6 months after he got into a car accident, car crashed him totally. He was 6. And after that, my parents disappointed in God. They God did not save him.
Yeah.
Now I see it as his soul chose his experience to die this way to provide lessons for my uncle, right? Uncle? The guy's an uncle, right? Yeah, uncle. And now I see it from a different perspective. They still don't. They still feel like God betrayed them by by allowing this death to happen.
Yeah.
And that affected me too. And I was like, okay, then God doesn't really protect us. Because we believed strongly that God guides us, protects us.
Yeah,
God
you had the miracles in the church and all that. And so now you're in this new place. And now you don't believe God's there for you.
Yeah. So that was a big crash. And all the conspiracy stuff. It just kind of crashed my parents and me. And I remember this day where I stood in front of our apartment. We moved first month was in North Hollywood and then Santa Monica. I remember I stood in front of our apartment and I was like, I will never be happy, I will never speak English, and I just want to die. I was so difficult. It's I felt so hopeless and helpless.
Yeah.
And my parents did too. That was the hard part.
Just kind of a rock bottom for self-esteem in the whole family.
For everything.
Yeah.
And they couldn't be there as strong parents for me because they just experienced the crash too, and I understand that. So I kind of had to take
How did you move from there?
I was luckily internet was out there, and I connected with my friends, and I kind of stayed in this bubble with Russian community only for 9 years. So from 2010 to 2019 2020. Yeah, 2020.
10 years of a
10.
basically
It's
community.
we moved closer to 11. 2011 was just a month. We moved in up, so it was 9 years and 1 month. But I stayed within the Russian community. My Russian community would just grow because we would go to different places and we would meet different people, different Russian people. So it would just grow and grow and grow and grow. But it would only stay in the Russian community. And I think one of the reasons, because of all the conspiracy theories, because and just immigrant trauma, it's a real thing, being an immigrant, and of course, especially when you don't speak English. And I felt like an idiot in high school. I felt and I saw people laughing at me, and
So did you go to a high school?
I went to middle school first. I went to second semester of 8th grade, and then I went to high school. And I didn't understand. I felt like I'm an alien. I didn't feel like I belong. And then slowly I started to speak English just by listening, because the more you listen, the more your subconscious mind just absorbs everything. You just start getting it without. And I had classes, obviously, in school, where I did. My performance though was really bad in school, because my self-esteem was just so crashed. I didn't really yeah, I felt, I felt like I'm not capable of anything, and I'm just like, so I didn't really try to learn English
Yeah.
even. I was like, just okay, I'm in my own bubble.
Just in your own bubble.
Yeah.
So how did that show up for you in the rest of your life outside of school? This lack of self-esteem. Were you a wild child? Were
Yeah.
you like withdrawn? Were you rebelling?
I was rebelling, definitely. I was rebelling just against my parents, against my life, and
Against God.
against God.
Yeah.
Yes, because like I felt that we are left alone and He doesn't love us anymore. And yeah, there was an incident where I was molested when we moved here, for like 2 months after that. Um, and it was someone who was like in our Russian circle. So that affected me in a way where like I've always loved sex. So, and I was already pretty like mature, like physically matured and ready for sex at that point. So I was like almost 13. And then I just like it happened in a way where like I was manipulated into that, and like I was alcohol poisoned, and yeah, so it just happened, and it opened this door for sex where I was like, I like sex. So I had a lot of sexual explorations where I was like, okay, yeah, I see this as a coping mechanism.
This is working great.
This is working great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, and then I dated that person and all within the Russian community. And then that person, and then like I didn't really realize that I'm like young, but it worked. Like, that helped me cope, because otherwise I think I would like just kill myself, honestly, because I was so like everything else just was so unfulfilling. Like my life in high school was very hard because I felt like I'm a failure because I don't really try. I don't really even study English. Even in America, I felt like, I'm not even good here. And like everything I do, I'm bad at. And eventually I developed my like this immigrant kind of bubble in my high school where I had other immigrants, and
You found the clique to fit in with.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. But still, I felt like, American people hate me. I felt like not accepted. And we had some incidents where, like, like white American people would like make fun of me, and like that kind of got stuck, plus all the like conspiracy stuff, and plus
so slowly building that armor around you.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't fit in here.
Yes.
Everyone hates me.
Yes.
It's all rigged against me in my community.
Yes. So the only way out I found with boyfriends. So that was the only thing in life that brought me joy. That was the only like feeling that like I felt loved. I felt that I'm accepted. I felt that, I'm attractive. I see that guys like me, and yeah, I had fun. I drank, I smoked cigarettes, and that was kind of like my life. I was waiting to get out of school every day and just, kind of hang out with friends. And also, when I was 15, I was really I was always into like personal development. That was my thing. I read Brian Tracy when I was in school. When I was like in high school, I found his books. Or someone gave it to me and I read it. So I was like, oh, like I had that intuitive feeling about personal development. I always loved it since I was like 15. So I was into like boys. And on the other hand, I was always very ambitious. So I watched like YouTube videos of business coaches and personal development people. And I was like, I want to be like them. Like nothing in my life. I don't want to be like that. I want to be like that.
So you recognize the part of yourself that was destined for bigger things.
Yes.
Like you're okay. You're like, I'm coping with this over here, but I'm gonna go after this stuff. This is where it's at.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for those YouTube channels where like they really talked about like deep stuff that I liked and that was like giving me hope. And I went to there is like a Russian social media called VK, and I went on my page and I looked what videos did I watch when I just came here, like in 2012, 13, and I found that I was looking at affirmations and I was saving affirmations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, like I had that, yes, I was struggling and coping, but also like I knew what I'm destined for. Like my soul was like guiding me.
Yeah, already growing that part of yourself that was beaten down with low self-esteem, nothing to believe in.
And I really, my mom was very ambitious, so I think I got it from her, that like very entrepreneurial, and I always saw myself having a business. So when I was 15, I was looking for something that I can do, like create a business, build a business. And I found it. I Googled what kind of profession something you can do and make good money and like have fun, something like that.
Sure.
And wardrobe stylist showed up, and like personal stylist, and I was like, Mom, I want to become a stylist. So here I am, I'm 15, I don't have a lot of social interaction, only like high school, and I had a boyfriend or something and a girlfriend, like and yeah, I'm like, I need my own thing to do. And my mom, so grateful, we found together this online school to become a personal stylist, like a wardrobe stylist, and personal shopper, you can call it too, where you go with people to stores and you pick outfits for them, for their wardrobe to wear that fits their style, their body and everything. So I took that. Mom paid $500, and I took that course. I finished that course, and I became a personal stylist at 15.
All right.
And there was homework to do, and I was surprised that I'm good at it, because I felt that I'm bad at everything. I was
in
just,
school when you didn't care about anything, you're just like, I can't do anything. But suddenly you've got something.
Suddenly
that's
I'm like,
exciting.
Oh wow,
invested.
like yes. And there was a homework to create your own portfolio. So I had to find people that wanted like free photo shoot for me to dress them up. I had to find a photographer for free. I had to find a free makeup artist. So I did all of that, and I created my first. Of course, my mom helped me through all of that process. Like she was there with me and like coordinating, because like I think I turned 16, and like I'm just kind of trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
And my mom, was helping there, because she's like a fashionista. She had 3 stores, or even 4, I think. Don't remember, but
sure.
Yeah, like that's her thing. Like her taste is amazing. And yeah, I was like, wow, I can do that. And I created my first portfolio, and I found my first client for personal shopping and wardrobe styling when I was 16. I remember I made $350 for like a day. So in a day I made my first money. It was super challenging, but it was like,
how did you feel at the end of the day?
I felt, wow, like I can do something. Like I felt finally I'm finding something that I'm good at. Finally, like there's something is like birthing,
So
so that was my first little business. And I kept it, like I kept going with it. And then I graduated high school and I went to Santa Monica College for fashion merchandising. And along the way, I took many classes. I was really good at it. And I was like, wow. And, my self-esteem started to get better. Like,
started kindling
slowly,
that spark.
Yeah, like slowly. And then I got into event planning. And again, within the Russian community, I was planning kids' parties, I was planning like business networking events, I was collaborating with different people. And like overall, I organized around like 50 events, and like I was good at it. And then I didn't finish the college for fashion merchandising because there were some classes I didn't like. And I realized that I guess, like, if I don't like something, I can do it, then I'm going to drop it. And that was the right decision because after all, I found what I really want to do. Being a life coach,
Being a life
healer,
coach. A
healer. I would.
healer.
It's
Yeah.
it's all together. I can say healer really covers it all because I do life coaching, I do hypnotherapy, I do tarot readings, and I do Reiki energy healing.
So when you were in this space of like studying the fashion stuff, did you see life coaching and say like that's what I want to do, or did this concept of healing, is that kind of evolved from that?
Yeah.
It's been more distilled.
I've been watching YouTube videos with different like business and life coaches and like motivational speakers, and I always felt like this is something that I want to do, but I didn't know how. I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know. I was like not sure. You just have this inner feeling that you want to do something like that, right? And I wanted to create a community. I was like always like imagining big community of like-minded people. I was like I'm gonna make that one day. I don't know how, I don't know what, but I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I can elaborate how I got to that point a
Sure.
little bit. So yeah, in 2018 I got married, and relationships, they like my relationship with that person, they were abusive. It was abusive. They or it, whatever.
There was abuse.
Yeah, there was abuse. Yes. And I think that was like the lowest point of my self-esteem. Like my self-esteem really crashed. Like we had a big fight and it got a little bit physical, and I'm like, all right, what's happening? And this like, oh, I don't know, like I need to find answers. I was just like, God, why this is happening to me? I was still Christian, right? Christian mindset. Didn't really practice anymore, but it was just still inside of me, those beliefs that it's him. It's not my responsibility.
Come on.
It's his responsibility. Yeah. So, yes, when that happened, I started looking for answers, and I found this beautiful my girlfriend at the time suggested this beautiful self-love and relationship coach, and I started reading her like blogs on Instagram. She posts every day like till now, and I took her course. 3 months totally changed my perspective on life. It was like I've been throughout my whole story, right? When I came here, I've been like watching different like life coaches and therapists and like healers, but I never put it all together. Like I didn't know all of that stuff, but I was always drawn to it. But
Yeah, you're seeing where you want to be.
I was
Yeah.
for sure. And yeah, I took her course. That course totally changed my mindset, and it was like a starting point of my spiritual awakening. And took me 2 years to break up with my ex-husband at the time. So from 2018 to 2020, I've been doing a lot of healing work with different healers, with different coaches, taking different courses and programs. And on that way, after I took that course, in a couple months, I was like, life coaching. Or even before that course, because I remember I wrote in my like journal life coaching, because I think I already like heard that word.
Yeah.
So I was like life coaching, and then I'm taking this course and I'm realizing this is like life coaching, and yes, she's teaching, but also, and then I think after in a few months I was like, I just had a calling.
Yeah, it was like the thought was there, and then it kind of fully crystallized
Yes.
by the end. You just
Yes.
like, I'm ready.
I'm like, this is what I can do, and I don't need anything, but I should take the course. And like, I already know how to listen to people. I'm already very compassionate. I love people. I want to help people. This woman helped me so much. I really want to do the same for other people because this is so valuable.
Yeah.
This is more valuable than any bullshit from high school. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, this is so easy and so valuable. So I took this course and I started seeing clients as a life coach. And like, I loved it. And in a certain period of time, I found this hypnotherapy school in a magical way too, because
Naturally.
like naturally, yeah, my life was always like involved magic, all the synchronicities, all the guidance, and like I'm so thankful to my spirit guides for guiding me, and Jesus, I love Jesus.
Shout out to Jesus.
He's been always with me, and like at some point I shut my heart to him, and I came back to him only like in August, and last August I was like, oh, all right, like you're my spirit guide, like, and I've been rejecting you all this time. So connection to Jesus came back to me, and like definitely he is one of my teachers. He is one of my guides.
So as you were going into all this life coaching stuff, you mentioned you was like you were Christian. Were you starting to open to more possibilities? Yeah.
So after this course, she shared so many, like she planted so many new positive beliefs about me, about life, that I take responsibility and like boundaries and like so many beautiful things, like truly beautiful things. There were some things that I had to work through after that, because I took everything she said for like as truth, because there were some parts that now I don't resonate with at all, but like at that time
Sort the pieces for
yeah,
your own self.
yes,
Yeah.
That's why like one of my advices for people, like if they're listening to someone, listen to your intuition and then check it if it fully resonates, or you need to alter it, because there is like every person has their own truth in their own way, and there is like you create your own truth by listening to other people, feeling it out, right, sorting it out, yeah, throwing shit away, and like just keeping stuff that you feel the most, like that you resonate with the most. So that's like a really important point on any, like whatever your path on, especially if you're in the beginning of your spiritual awakening. It's very important to listen to your intuition and sort it out. Your question, what was the question again?
Yeah, so as you were getting into life coaching and you identified yourself as a Christian, how was your spirituality, your faith, your anything, your connection to the divine?
Yes.
Was that expanding? Was that...
So I met this woman. She was a healer, but she identified as psychologist because she and she did the right thing, because if she told me what she was actually doing, I would say no, because I would think she's a witch and she's the devil and that all that bullshit. And
So, witch with a psychology degree.
yes, she
Nice.
witch with a psychology degree, totally light worker, who opened me up so wisely and smart to. She was also theta healer, and like I didn't fully understand how it worked, but I trusted her because she called herself psychologist.
Okay.
So, and I felt like deep calling, and we were like, so I was going through this awakening, and my ex was, kind of like not happy with it, because the stronger I would get, the more pissed off he would get, and like more controlling, and it was just really bad. So she held my hand and slowly introduced me to this concept of spirituality, and that there are many ways to God. There is no one right way to God. There are many ways to God. And I was like, but what if Jesus is going to get mad at me for believing that? So I had to go through that process inside of me where, like, waking up to my own power, that I am powerful, that I'm a creator of my life, that I'm worthy. And she just like opened the door very slowly, very gently, and explained everything. And of course I had my own resistance to her because of that. I'm like, this woman, she just like, she just like came here and she tells me what's right or wrong. So I had my own fight with her inside of myself, but of course my like intuitive part knew it was true.
Yeah, as that was growing, it was able to
Yeah.
yep, this is good. This is safe.
But definitely I went through this period of like opening my mind. And then also when I joined my hypnotherapy school, they introduced me, like, the main program is hypnotherapy, right? But they have like different courses. So they had Reiki and they had past life regression. That was included in my hypnotherapy program, but also they had like another course. And for some interesting reason, before enrolling in the school, I decided to get initiated into Reiki. I was like, feeling that I want to step into magic and like everything, like I was feeling the call. So before taking this full 1 year hypnotherapy program, I got initiated into Reiki. Or during. It was like either start or before. It was just close. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm a magician now. I was like, wow, I'm not gonna tell my parents. They're gonna think I'm a witch.
They're gonna think you're crazy.
They're gonna think I'm crazy. And the initiation was so easy, and like I got so much out of it. And I started practicing on my ex-husband, and like he kind of he liked it in a way. And then on my friends, and then I posted on Facebook in like Russian groups that I'm offering free Reiki session, and I did this session for this lady, and she totally loved it. And I was like, wow, I'm just putting my hands, I'm just activating my channel, and people love it. People receive healing from it. What? Like, that was a total, like, that was so new, but I've always been very intuitive. Like, everything that wasn't resonating with me, I didn't like it, and like I didn't put effort into it.
Yeah.
That's why it was hard for me to, like, in high school, because I didn't see how it was going to benefit me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that I don't really, like, some years of high school, I don't even know the knowledge they taught me because I didn't speak English. And right now I'm glad, because it benefits me so much right now. Like,
don't have any useless stuff.
I don't have useless beliefs that so many people have. So yeah, Reiki, and then past life regression. I had a class in my hypnotherapy program, and they did it on me, and I checked my I went for my relationship with my ex, why it's happening, so I got answers. And I'm like, wow. And I started reading about reincarnation, and that was like so mind-opening. It was like, this is truth. It was like, I deeply resonate with it. There is no way. We have only one life, one chance, and we are only our bodies. It's not true. And like, I just deeply felt that it's so true, that I've been here before. People that I meet, that I connect instantly, they're from my past lives, either on this planet or other planet. Like my boyfriends, like, they're all teachers, and everything is not a coincidence. And like, there is an explanation for stuff that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And yeah, that school truly opened me up. And then when I broke up with my ex, in like 4 months or 5 months, I met my fiance Adam,
Boom. Mic
and
drop.
he was on the spiritual path already for like 16 years or like 15 years,
Yeah.
and psychedelics and like other stuff, other like he's been through a lot of teachings, a lot of things, and yoga and so many things. So within our relationship, like he opened me up to more things. Like I was just ready. Like I was ready to take it all in, and I was ready to I like when I was still in relationship with my ex, but I already knew I would break up with him. I was picturing what kind of man do I want to meet, and I met exactly what I was picturing.
Yeah.
I
You
met
manifested
exactly
you
what
wanted.
I wanted. And I learned so much from Adam, and he learns from me too. And like I have this passion about spirituality. And at some point on my path, I had another awakening that blasted my psychic abilities, where I became more sensitive, even more intuitive, easily reading people's energy, doing tarot cards, like even like with more understanding, and just it's like my path is never ending. I will never like I'm not perfect, and from the point where I was when I immigrated to United States to now 12 years, it's like it's amazing. I went through so much, and I still have a lot of work to do, but I'm so much happier than I was. So much. And my self-esteem is totally different, and I still work with it, but like now I know I'm worthy. Now I know.
Lovability up.
Yes,
Lovability up.
I know I'm a soul who's been through a lot, like during past lives, during this life, and I'm not just my body. I'm not just this girl. I'm like, and that I truly felt that on my first mushroom experience. I truly felt, I looked at my body and I'm like, I'm not my body. I'm like, Adam, I am not my body. I was touching myself, looking at my face, at my legs, and I'm like, and I cried. I'm like, this is not me. Like, I am not my body. That was so profound, even though I knew that, but I didn't feel it like that.
Tap into it.
I really tapped
somatically.
into it. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I am truly a soul. I am not just this. And that helped me a lot to raise my self esteem too, because, as I went through a lot of trauma and stuff, still, like, part of me was like, hurt. So, understanding that you are a soul and that this is just temporary, your body is temporary, all the problems are temporary, you've done it many times, you are so powerful, you are so wise, and like when you look at life, and you will never die. That's another thing. Like your soul will never die. And understanding and like feeling it, that I am eternal, that whatever I do here, it's like it's a big deal, but it's not a big deal. It's like, yes, it seems like it's a lot. It seems like it's
the biggest little deal there ever
yeah, but comparing to the whole universe, we're just like a little grain of salt.
So how does this particular grain of salt show up in the world today with your healing abilities and your life coaching?
Ah, I love helping people. I love showing them that they're more capable than they think. I love to point people to their like talents and strength. I've always had that where I saw something special about every person and I told them about it. Like I saw that something's there and like I was always that person like you have that, you have that, you have that, you have that. So definitely it's my strength as a like being a healer and see power in people, see what they're capable of, reading their energy, understanding why they do things the way they do. And on top of that, my own experience, right? Without working and healing myself, I could not help others. And I know that there are therapists like that don't do the work. They just went to school and they're like, oh yeah, now I'm gonna help people, but they don't do the inner work.
They've got tools.
Yes, they've got tools, but if they don't do the inner work, you don't wanna go to that person because it's not gonna affect you well. So doing the inner work, a lot of inner work, like all the time, and understanding my patterns, self-awareness is like the biggest part of my journey that I had to like get the skill. Oh, I'm reacting this way to this person because I have that and it's all me. I'm just, putting my perception on other people. Like everything, I see, it goes through my own filter. Everything I, get, it goes through my own filter and then gets out. So, yeah, definitely self-awareness, helping people to become more self-aware, helping people to work with their triggers and their traumas, and helping them to accept themselves, who they are, accept, their path, forgive their past, accept their past. It's a big one for me because, like, I did kind of what I wanted because I found that helpful and useful and it's a good thing, but also I did a lot of things that like hurt me more during my childhood. So having that experience, I could, I share that with a lot of people just from my own perspective. Like it's like I learned a lot of things that you shouldn't do. So
Yeah, you're basically using the healing power of your own story and your own journey.
It's like I learned so many things of what you should not do. And that helps me in my like practice, in my healing practice. When people come to me, I see clearly like people's like, okay, like this here, 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 like we need to work on that and that and that and then. And then like it takes time, of course. It takes time to go to one thing, work on it, another thing, work on it, and then third thing, and then it slowly like heals. And that's what I do with myself too, and with different modalities. I think one of the things that I want to like share that if you're on your spiritual awakening, try different modalities, like do different things. Like I do breath work, I do yoga now. I didn't eat meat for a year and a half. I didn't drink at all for a year and a half. Like, and I found that powerful. And then like I stopped eating sugar. And then like I came back to a little bit of whatever I want, right? And then I tried psychedelics and that worked for me. And then I tried hypnotherapy myself when I became a hit, and then tarot cards and then Reiki. So if you're on the healing journey, just like try different things. Some might work better than the other thing. Like something is more your medicine than the other thing. So yeah, that's why I have different tools. I love tarot cards. They're so helpful. They're so amazing. But if you want to reprogram your mind, you should go for hypnotherapy. Like that's one of the greatest fucking tools there out there to heal your subconscious mind and reprogram, because we are programmed, like when we are children, we are programmed to certain thing, and we need to reprogram that if we want to be happy. And that takes time.
Yeah.
And then energy healing is great when you just feel heavy, when you feel stressed, you need to relax. And it's not gonna change your subconscious beliefs, but it's gonna definitely release the negative energy or energies that are stuck on you. Like, it will help you to release that. So that's another tool. It's like, there are so many tools, and like, I would say that
Spiritual doctor's
mind,
toolkit.
body, and spirit. After, like, that's what I my formula. If I want to be happy, I have to work on 3. I can't just work on 1. Mind, body, spirit. Like, all 3 create that magical combination where you change your life. If, like, stopping alcohol, stopping meat, like, it taught me so much, that I didn't smoke tobacco for a while too. So it's like, yes, I worked with my emotions and my traumas, but also there are habits that you gotta change within your physical body.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's gonna be a conflict. And then spiritual component, when you bring to it's not only psychology, there is God. What is God? How is God? How it all works? What is karma? What is past lives? So it's like juggling mind, body, spirit, and like healing yourself in all of those areas.
It's a lot.
It is.
Where does one even begin to start?
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
Some people start with their body. They just start doing yoga, whatever they feel called to. And like, some people start with that. Some people start with just straight connection to like God and like connecting, healing that. Some people start with, psychology and like just healing their traumas. So whatever you feel called, where to start, you start with that. But my physical body, like caring for my body, only came like few years after I started on my mental, emotional healing.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't. Like, you
had to bring the other pieces
yes,
up to a level to where
yes,
you had the capacity to care for the rest of self.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until you have those pieces, until you're healed enough, you just can't. Like, I couldn't go and heal my body because, our body is definitely connected to everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
If someone has a calling to heal their mind, their spirit, where can they find out more about the work that you do?
On my website, which is wildwomanworldwide.org. That's my website, and they can find my email there, my Instagram, and my Facebook, and my YouTube channel.
Spreading the magic all around the world.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, Masha, you're on the right path.
Thank you. You too.
If you weren't on the right path, you probably wouldn't be here right now.
For sure. I think if I did not choose to take control of my life, I'd probably end up like suicide for sure. I think like I would just get there because it's either you just heal it or you just like bye life. Yeah.
So what happened to that story of low self-esteem, unlovable? What's the new story that's taken its place?
I love myself. I'm worthy. I'm good enough. People love me. I love people. I'm free. I'm sexy. I'm beautiful. And I can create the life I want. I can create anything I want. And you can too.
And you can too.
And you can too.
Yes. Awesome. Masha, thank you. Thanks for coming back for round 2, getting it right. Great job.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Self-love shining like the sun. Masha continues to change the world by changing those stories inside herself. So beautiful. If you like this podcast and you would like to send a question or a comment, please send it over to lumbertronic@gmail.com. Until next time, keep sharing your stories.